The way to a woman's heart is to become love. Do you understand? Do you understand clearly? Because if you don't, piss off. Because guess what? That's what's going to happen. You'll be pissed off. You get it? You'll remain pissed off until you unconditionally love yourself and fill your heart up, and then you go and shine that bright light on her. So understand something. Walk down the aisle if you want, but I'd rather be on a mountaintop. I'd rather be on the beach. I'd rather be anywhere else except in a church when I get married. Because guess what? I don't like their rules. And they always have rules. Okay? Some churches have rules that the woman walks behind. Some churches have rules. My church had a rule that guess what? All you women, you were made from a man's rib. I'll tell you a true story. I tell it all the time. I counted my ribs. I was about 8 years old, and I told my father, because he's a born-again Christian pastor, I said to him, Dad, I counted my ribs, and I've got them all. I said, Dad, if women were made from man's rib, then why do I have all my ribs? He slapped me in the face. And I knew then that I was not allowed to question religion. And when you can't question religion, you can't question your teacher, when you can't question your parents, they're living a lie. They're living a lie. And guess what? I've got people probably on the platform right now going, curse him, curse him. And they can curse me all they want. You can't be cursed unless you let somebody do it. Daryl, you need to protect yourself. No, I don't. I got protection. I know who God is. It's unconditional love. It's never judged me. It's always loved me. If I could redo this whole life, it would be totally different. We could surf through this life. Unconditional love is how we surf, because that means that we don't judge another human being. And even if that human being is not a loving human being, if that human being is torturing themselves or trying to torture others, you still mind your own business. Unconditional love for yourself means that you don't go to the corner store, liquor store. You don't toke. Well, you might have one or two tokes. Why not? Well, it's a good buzz. The reality is this. You know that you're going to do maybe 1 shot of Mescal, not 5. Because the more that you do drugs and the more that you do alcohol, you allow entities in. Have you never said this? I wasn't myself last night. That's right. Because an entity took over. And guess what? The greatest entity on this planet is the government. It's an entity. Nobody gets that the government is an entity. It's an evil, blood-sucking entity. And it doesn't matter. Nobody's going to go in there and people go, oh my God, this person's going to go in there and just change it all. It'll never happen. You know what? It's saying, you see that snake there? It's going to become an eagle. See, the thing is I don't dilute myself, and also I'm not depressed by it. It's like this. I was put into a game, I found out the rules, and I'm loving it. I win every moment because I can stay in the moment. Because whether you like me, love me, hate me, it doesn't matter. I'm going to love you anyway. When I tell you what my beliefs are and you get all upset and twisted, it's because your beliefs are full of shit. Because you need people around you to confirm that you are on track. I don't need you to tell me I'm on track. I smile more than anybody in this place. Yesterday, I had someone that I deal with business who's trying to rip me off for $100,000. Did I lose it? Did I lose it? Lorraine? No. Did I stay calm? Because understand something, I'm going to teach you one last thing. You're all taught to push your lovers, your children, you're taught to push their pain buttons. Because as long as you can push their pain button and they lose it before you do, you can justify why you are out of balance because of them. Anybody ever notice anything with the government or with medical doctors or all these people? They're taught, no matter what, even if you get caught, just stay calm. Because the person that loses themselves first, they're the ones that are going to look stupid. So even if we get found out, it doesn't matter. You'll be able to go on and you can lie to millions of people. And guess what? Just stay calm and smile. Because the person that loses it looks like an idiot. I just gave you the biggest rule. There it is right there. Okay? And that's it right there. And they're all taught this. It's the manipulation game. Now, what am I trying to do? I'm trying to manipulate all of you into loving yourself and becoming the leader of yourself, right? Have I even just one speck tried to see if I could get you to follow me somewhere on an emotional, physical, mental level? No, because guess what? You give people back their life. You give them back their love. I don't go around sucking on people like there's this large nipple. And this is why marriage doesn't work, and it's never going to work until you have a marriage with yourself. Unconditional love. Once you have unconditional love for yourself, wow, she turns me on. He turns me on. I've never felt like this before. Guess what? You'll be turning yourself on and each other for the rest of your life. When you hit adversity, you will be observing together and strategizing and not going, you lost the money. You didn't show up. You'll sit down and go, why didn't you show up? Da 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 da. Okay, so let's work together and see if we can make this happen. Oh, but just, no. Just do what you keep doing, girls and boys. Keep looking for reasons why that person's responsible for screwing your life up. So what all of these systems have done, big pharma, medical system, food corporations, government, all of it is to come in and destroy the family. But at the same time telling you that this is as good as it gets. Yes or no? Don't fall for it anymore. And the only reason why you fall for it is because majority rules. Majority doesn't rule. Majority is being ruled. Now, I'm not downing this planet. I'm having a good time. Am I having a good time? Am I enjoying myself? Have you ever seen me just go, oh my God, Daryl looks depressed? Daryl looks angry? I'm gonna fall for it. Remember something, action, reaction. I told you if you keep the slight smile, if you stay connected to your lion heart breathing, they'll never own you. Listen, guys, I am very happy to say that I had the government spend over $200,000 and work on a story for 1 year to try to destroy all of this. Taxpayers' money went to try to destroy me. The show's still up. If you watched it and you didn't know me, God, when I was back in Kelowna, I told the story before and I'll tell it again. Lori was there and it was at Choices and a lady came up to me. I know who you are. And she spit on me. Now, what was my reaction? Her life must be just beating her up so bad. Nobody does that. I just walked away and put my hand on my heart so that I didn't curse her. You do know that was their last attempt. You do know that my government has come after me 3 times. That's a hat trick. They always want to try to get you, destroy your reputation, destroy your finances. Why am I telling you this? This is not about pity. I'm trying to tell you that when you go to love yourself, your family's going to attack you. And it's not because they're doing it consciously, they're doing it unconsciously. They're scared of unconditional love. It scares people. And do you know why? Because they've been feeding on you and you've been feeding on them. And I already told you, we can't do without love, but if you're not going to self-serve it, then you can kiss your ass goodbye. I can tell you right now, I love everyone. I love the guy that told me yesterday that if he was standing in front of me, he'd punch me in the face. And he's actually trying to rip me off for $100,000, right? Well, who was here? Somebody was here. You were here, yeah. And I've actually done nothing, have I? And this is what's going to happen. People are getting desperate. And they're going to get more desperate as they turn off the financial tap and we go into digital. We're going into digital, whether you like it or not. And it's not the devil. Digital is when you take the chip. That's when you gave your soul away. But we're going into digital. And digital will give us, as human beings, more power than the dollar, because it'll take power away from the Federal Reserve. And the Federal Reserve is owned by the Rothschilds, Rockefellers, and the royal family, and J.P. Morgan. And they own the Federal Reserve. And the only reason why us as Americans, okay, were able to go around the world and pretend that we were out there protecting everyone, and actually we were just stealing the banking rights, the mineral rights, and giving them all to the Rothschilds, Rockefellers, and J.P. Morgan and the Queen of England. And they're all related. So United States has been used, okay? All right? And the people have been used to go out. And now that all of that's done and they've stolen all the banking from all the world, okay? And now that they've brought everybody down to their knees, now they're going to destroy the US dollar and they're going to try to get everybody in soup lines. And then they're going to say, look, we can fix this, just we need to take all your money from the bank accounts and we need to steal everything from you because the government needs it because we're broke now. And that's what they did in the 1930s. And I'm not very far off from this. And this is what's going to happen. This isn't to scare you because I'm not scared. If you don't work on unconditional love and care for yourself and connect to your breath, it's never the end of the world like they want to do that. They want you to, they're going to set this whole thing up so that they can enslave us even more. I don't know if you notice it, but people have been waking up. People have been rising. People have had more of a quality of life. And they're going, guess what? We are the families. We can strategize. And we will take 8 billion people and we will put them on their knees and we will harvest the people. And how they're harvesting the most is through the tobacco industry owns all the supermarket chains in the United States, Canada, Australia, throughout Europe now. So understand something. And the tobacco industry, what do? Their job is to harvest humans. And so they took their money and put it into that. And those same people own Big Pharma. So now what you're doing, if you're eating, just know this. How many people know that only 3% of the food in a supermarket is fit for humans? How many people know that only 30% of the food that's in a health food store is fit for humans? So how many people know that there's no food fit for humans in a corner store? So you need to understand something. That's the game. Don't get upset. When you go to play Monopoly, you go, I want to play Scrabble? Well, if you want to go play Scrabble, get on another planet. This is the planet that's called life-threatening, fun-filled adventure. Wake up. It's not going to change. Only you can change. You've been trying to change your wife, and your wife has been trying to change you. How's that working? Huh? You'll get an atomic bomb every day. It all comes back to this. Do you have the heart to fill? Because you must fill up your heart every day. I never have to fill my heart up anymore. Why? Because when you do something long enough and strong enough, okay, all right? Hey, listen, let's put it this way. If I pick my nose 20 times a day and I do it for 30 days, even if I don't have something to pick in my nose, I'll be picking it after that, won't I? Do you ever see people with their hair? I went out with a girl when I was younger, and she had long hair all her life. She got her hair cut, and do you know what she did the whole time I went out with her? As if she still had hair. No, I'm just trying to show you something. Everything is repetition. 90% of your brain is your subconscious, which doesn't think, it only runs programs. So are you going to be mindful? So put sticky notes all around your house, in your car, on the mirror. Start doing the mirror work. Start doing the love band. 3, 2, 1, I got this. Okay, you're going to win the day. You're going to win the day. You know? I'm going to tell you something. This is what I do when I'm by myself. If I have to wait for somebody and have a meeting, I just do this. You know, I don't even have to do this anymore, right? Because when my hand goes like this and the love band goes in front of my eyes, it's such a program. You couldn't get me to hate you if you tried. You couldn't get me to hate, okay, Bill Gates if you tried. You couldn't get me to hate Fauci if you tried. You couldn't get me to hate chemtrails if you tried. Do I love them? No. But do I ever have hate for them? Because every time you hate something, you're destroying your own health. And you're feeding the hate entity inside yourself. And you are going to pass that on. And that is the only virus. The only virus is victimitis. And I choose to be a Braveheart. And that's why I started the Braveheart Nation. That's why we're coming out with the Braveheart app. I'm not messing around. I put all my money into this. All of it. All my money goes into this. But then they come out with a show that I steal people's money and I murder people. So then, guess what? The people that are awake go, thank you. Thank you for being a Braveheart. Thank you for not backing off. Thank you for not breaking down. But the majority of the population is always going to go, but they would never have came to me anyways. So you got to get that. So when the majority of the population goes, oh, he's killing people. You know what? When was the last time that somebody not high up in government or part of the psycho elite was allowed to murder 3 people and just walk around and have a great time? But see, the majority of the population will choose to believe that because it makes their life look better. And it justifies that life is hard. There's evil people out there. Oh my God, look what he got away with. This world is unsafe. Understand something. You can't speed without paying judgment, right? But meanwhile, I could murder 3 people and steal people's money. And then what I do is I let everybody know where I am. Remember something. Just because somebody says something about you doesn't make it true. Mind your own business. Don't take it personal. Live your life. Live your life. Do you actually think that I'm not causing a ripple with Big Pharma, with supermarket chains, okay, with parts of the medical system, parts of the government? My God, we have an indigenous program where you can come and get an indigenous doctorate anywhere around the world that's not expensive and anybody can get it. And you can get a doctorate of indigenous medicine and be adopted by the Taino tribe. And there's no white man's government and there's no government around the world that can touch you because it was approved by the World Health Organization and by United Nations. They can't touch you. And this is what we got to do is we've got to use the same rules of these fools. And understand something, most of the laws that they say, they're just rules. But we follow them anyway, right? So understand something. If you want a great marriage, marry your heart. Feed your spirit. And know that the creator of everything has never judged you and said, you go girl, you go boy. But just remember, you're on a life-threatening, fun-filled adventure where people are trying to poison you, and you need to wake up and rise up. And if you do that, you get to move on to the next level, because the universe is just a PlayStation game. Let's take a break, and when we come back, we'll get back to unconditional loving ourselves. And what I'm going to do is we're going to go through all the products today. So if anybody wants to join us, I'm going to be going through the products, and let's make this perfectly clear. There are no cures except for you having unconditional love for yourself and making choices that are high vibrational from the moment you rise until you close your eyes. God bless.